behind every successful woman that I've ever seen, she's either got a husband who is obsessed with her or no husband. There's no in between. And I think that works the same way for, every couple. If you don't have a partner who is 100% behind you, it's really hard.
Anyway, everybody, look at this. We got people joining. People actually want to talk to us.
Yeah, hi everyone. Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, I think it's a good time.
Yeah, it's definitely here in the US. It's prior to the Super Bowl, which is today.
Right.
And I don't know that many people that care.
Well, hardly any here.
For sure.
Yeah, when the only thing we know about with the Super Bowl is like who performed halfway through, but we're all asleep mostly.
Yeah. Well, in most cases, that might be the most interesting thing about the game.
Yeah.
Especially this year.
Yeah. Who is performing this year?
Bad Bunny, who is very outspoken against many things that the Trump administration is doing, including the pushing of ICE, which is the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Group. And I mean, this would be he's from Puerto Rico, which is taxed but not represented here in the United States, which is nothing that the UK knows anything about.
Hey, anytime there's been trolling about us and the empire, I look up, I'm like, right, how many territories has America got? Because I bet you they've got some.
We learned it by watching.
Yeah, Pot Kettle Black.
For sure. Hey, everybody. Okay, yeah, don't care about the sports ball. I hear you, Ben. Me either.
Yeah.
Lindsay's here. Dog Day with Cindy Sykes. Laurel, Erica, Uncle Bob. Thanks for joining us. Let's see who else. Amber's here. Matt is here. Okay, you guys can chime in at any time. If you've ever done a live stream, you'll notice that if you're doing it on a phone, the text is actually about this big.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to see.
Yeah. Hi, Bob. I've seen Bob. Oh, yeah. I've seen Bob. Hi, Bob.
Oh, Amber's watching from work. Eric's here. This is so exciting for me. I think, Hannah, you and I have talked face-to-face like this twice, maybe 3 times in the last 2 years.
Yeah, because I think we didn't do a live last time we talked, so we were talking about other things. Yeah, I think maybe Midnight Vault, wasn't it?
Yeah, or you and Sean and I did a Google chat at one point.
Yeah.
Sean McDonald.
Because don't tell everyone about our private club. Not everyone's gonna want to join.
That's right. Well,
no, there's no private club. We were just talking about Sean.
That's right.
Yeah, because he's got a book out.
Yeah, he does have a book out and shirts. I'm wearing my Cherry Kill shirt today. But I think he was picking your brain about social media because I don't know anybody who does social media like you do. And in fact, I don't know anybody else on Pinterest except for you.
Yeah.
But I one of the things that I think is so hilarious about the stuff that you do on Instagram is how real it is as sort of a working writer and a mom, and the kids are around, and all of the sort of inner things that we all think about writing. Like, how am I going to get somebody to read this book? How important are reviews? All of those things. I find them screamingly funny because they're so true.
Yeah.
You probably have this entire wealth of like things that are, backed up ideas in your mind where you're like, the next reel I'm going to put out is about this topic because it's something I think about on a regular basis.
All the bloody time, yeah. I just can't switch off. I'm like, I bet you other people go through this, or bet other people do this, or like when I said about when you see I've been on TikTok since October, and every time I see a video by a book talker that says 5 gothic books I read this month, I go, oh, and then it's never mine, and then I'm like, why would it? Why would it be mine? But every time I hold my breath, and it's like I haven't even told anyone this book exists. Why am I going? you know, but I think everyone does that. Like every indie
Yeah,
author, they'll see a book talker or on Bookstagram, someone will say, "Oh, new books I read this month," and you just go, "Oh," and like no, and then you remember, no, you chose indie.
that's
You
right.
chose indie. Yeah,
Do you find that the Bookstagrammer, and I'm literally so nascent in looking at like these categories, they're only like buying up traditionally published books and talking about those?
yeah, and I mean, like I have witnessed there is an indie movement on Book Talk. I have seen people talk about indie books or indie authors that they love. I have seen that. But it's nowhere near the same scale. In fact, like I have to take long breaks from social media because you will see the same 5 to 10 titles over and over and over again. And you'll be like, you all follow each other. Like, you all know what you think of this book. Why do I need to see another video? Like, we all know. And it's always the same books. And I am convinced like they haven't even read them. It's like they're just waiting for someone else to recommend them, and then they go, "Oh, that's popular. I'll do a video about that." So there's a little bit of that, but then that's just me. I just scrutinize everything. I'm like, "Well, hang on a minute. Like you've chosen exactly the same titles. None of you are going, oh, actually, I picked this one instead."
Yeah.
Um, highly sus to me, but
But do you, I do think that brings up a good point, like how suspect it is that they all sort of come out around the same time. Like
yeah,
somebody's either they're all jumping on each other's coattails, right? Or
mm,
somebody's paying them all at the same time. So there's sort of like, as somebody who's watching that, you're getting roadblocked by only seeing those books, right?
yeah, and I think as well is in a way they're competing with each other for
Mm,
who's the one you go to for the book recommendations. So they're all recommending the same thing, but they're
sure.
capitalizing on how you do it. So they'll be like, "Oh, I like such and such because she does it this way," but they're all doing the same thing.
Uh,
It's about them. It's not about the books as much.
yeah.
But it's always the same 5 books, and I just like I find it mind numbing. I'm like, why are the people who follow these accounts not fed up with it always being the same 5 books?
Yeah.
Um, it's like, yeah,
This is why you delete social media apps on a regular basis, right?
yeah, yeah, because I will say something honest if I don't delete them. Like,
If anybody's ever tried to get a hold of Hannah through direct messages of any type on any application,
oh,
Instagram, Discord, Substack, something, and you don't hear from her for days to potentially weeks, it's because she's deleted that app.
yeah, I'm not avoiding you. You just gotta like go on a quest to find me, because yeah, I just can't have them on my phone sometimes. Because I'm like, no, Hannah, think of your career. Uh, you know, think of your career. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't
What?
say it.
Well,
Uh,
I mean, you could position yourself as that author who's out there just sort of kneecapping people.
yeah, yeah. I'm not convinced. Like a lot of these big accounts, I'm like, I am not convinced you've all read these books. I think you are. Like I had experience of doing this when I had a craft business, and I am telling you, there were people who were just waiting for me to post so they could do the same thing and then get more engagement, which wasn't soul destroying at all. It was like I was like, I'm gonna do something different, I'm gonna do something original. And then there's a queue of people just waiting for you to do it so that they can do it too. And I think
Yeah.
that's all these big book talkers are doing. Is they're like, oh right, well she's talking about them, so I need to talk about them. I
Mm,
don't see many choosing something a bit more obscure and
Mhm.
promoting that. It's almost as if they don't want to miss out on whatever the trending book is. That's just what
Mm.
I get as an outsider because I'm not in this club and I don't really want to be in the club because I don't want to be like it could be cursed. I've seen people say, "Oh, book talk books, anything that's been recommended to me on book talk has always been terrible," and I'm like, "Well, I don't want to be in that club, do I?" So it's not somewhere
Well,
I want to really.
well, my brain goes to two things. One is it would be nice to sell a few books just because somebody picked
Yeah.
them up on recommendation. Also, the idea of changing perception of what gets recommended on Book Talk or any of those things would be really nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like I've done my bit for indie, and I keep doing it because I'd love more people to read like Andy Futura's Hallway. I'm like, please,
Right.
other people read that because it was really weird. And I think there must be an audience out there. So I just thought I'll do something different. I'll promote these indie books that I've read, and I just don't see many people doing that. So yeah, maybe it would stand out a bit more if uh yeah, if your book was featured, because then at least people would read something different. But oh God, it's all the same. It's all the bloody same.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah,
I want to transition that into something that you posted this morning, which I thought was really great. I'm going to read it back to you, and maybe we'll make you blush, maybe we won't. But uh, something every new author needs when they're starting out: patience. Your readers will find you, but only if you're patient enough to understand that this might take a while. You're probably not going to become an overnight success. I'm not a very patient person. I want to do everything now, and I've had to learn to be patient. Patient doesn't mean sitting back and waiting for everything to happen. It just means your expectations are not causing you problems because they're way out of sync with reality.
mm,
You
yeah,
want to talk about sort of where that came from? I mean, we're sort of touching on it right now anyway.
yeah. So every day I have a habit of waking up and then I go on all the various apps where I sell books, and I'm like, have I sold any books today? Um, Everyone does it. Like, you're a big fat liar if you say you don't. But everyone who's got books for sale goes out, it goes and checks their KDP dashboard, checks their draft to digital dashboard, whatever other dashboards. We
Yeah.
all do it. And sometimes I'm like, why am I checking this as if like there should be 500 book sales on there? Why am I doing that? When,
Hmm.
ultimately I'm still a baby author. I've only been in this game for 2 years. That's nothing. There's people who get discovered 10 years down the line, and I am not a patient person. I've never been a patient person. So imagine being ambitious but also impatient, and
Hmm.
how depressed that could make you, because it didn't happen as soon as you wanted it to. So I was just reflecting. I thought, God, these are important things that like people starting out need to know, because you're not going to be an overnight success, nor would you want to be, because imagine all of a sudden everything you post gets hundreds of thousands of likes. So everyone's watching
Hmm.
you, and all your books are, everywhere. Everyone's talking about them. And then you could kind of witness a lot of the feedback and a lot of the discussion. You could be Emerald Fennel right now while everyone's talking about Wuthering Heights all over social media. Everyone's got an opinion on it. And it's like, oh my God, if I was Emerald Fennel and that was my first film and then it went
Yeah,
massive, that would put me off making another film. So
it might. Yeah.
I think just slow and steady and things progressing in like natural increments is
Hmm.
the best thing to hope for.
Well,
Becoming an over.
well, do you remember when you got your first 50 or 100 or 200 subscribers on Substack? And I was asking Ian Daniels about this in his House of Chapters podcast. Did it change your writing? Did it change your perspective when you knew that the potential for other readers? And because I'm trying to think that like that sort of parlays into what you're getting at, which is that
Hmm.
scrutiny or the potential for scrutiny starts to become a cloud or could become a cloud and weigh on you.
I don't even remember like I don't remember what that was like, only having like 100 subscribers, but I tried really hard not to focus on it because
Hmm.
everyone then starts comparing with each other. Oh, he's
Yes.
got 500 more than me, and
Yeah.
um, but the pressure, I think once I got to about 500, I started becoming really self-conscious of everything I was
Uh-huh.
writing because I thought, oh my God, loads of people are reading this.
Yeah.
As if 100 people reading it wasn't scary enough. If you really think about them being in your
For sure.
house, oh, so many people.
I saw
Yeah,
somebody talking about that like a year ago. They're like, if you're upset that 50 people read your thing and it's not 100 people, imagine those 50 people in your house.
oh, yeah. Yeah. And yeah, 100 people in your house, like, no, the fridge is empty. But yeah, it was when I got to about 500, I just thought, oh no, like people are reading me stuff. What am I gonna do? Um, and it just the bigger the number gets, the more you think,
Right.
yeah,
But did it change how you were writing in any
no,
way?
no,
You were just going to plow through, this is me, this is my voice, this is what I'm
yeah,
enthusiastic about.
yeah, and it'll either work for them or it won't. And um, no, it's not. It hasn't changed anything. It was just the fact that when you see how many people now subscribe, you're like, wow, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
But it didn't stop me from. I just carried on as I was. No, it didn't. It didn't make me change how I write. Um, I think recently I've changed what I write because I realized, oh, I've got loads of books to market now. Whereas when I started, I didn't have any books, so I was just free to do whatever I wanted. It was like I'll do a bit of flash fiction, I'll do a bit of micro, I'll do a serial, I could do whatever. But
Yeah.
now it's like, oh, I've got books to market as well, and I can't market all these books and write new stuff at the same time. So I've
Yes.
learned to like slow down, just do one serial and stick to that.
Uh-huh.
Um, but I haven't changed. It doesn't have any bearing. It's just that my time is a lot more limited. That's all.
Yeah.
But yeah, the
Yeah.
audience, yeah, I've stayed the same. I think.
I've
Yeah,
stayed the same and everyone else has changed.
yeah, yeah. So no, I've just got better. That's the only thing that's changed.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah. You just
Um,
get better.
all right. So I told you that I would ask you about how you're so prolific
Oh
with
God.
kids around. And I want to point out one very particular thing. And let me see if I can do this. Uh, this is sort of the play area that's behind
Right.
me. There's a little couch, and you'll notice right here,
That's a potty.
we're doing potty
Yeah.
training right now for my
I've got
two-year
I've
old.
got two right now. Yeah, yeah. Potty
And
training.
these like how do you get anything done?
I'm pig-headed, um, and willful, um, and you know.
And I've got really, really strong ropes to tie them up.
No, I think like when I started on here, it was a lot easier to fit time into write because my youngest was only about 10 months old, something like that. In fact, I didn't even think she was crawling. She might have been younger than that. So it was easy because like you put baby down, baby sleeps, go and do some work.
Yeah,
That's how it was. That was the rhythm.
yeah,
It's harder now because she's into everything. Um, but no, it's just sheer will, and also because I enjoy it. Like it's what I've been doing to take a break from things. It was always something that was just for me. Um, so I won't be like I'm not going to the spa. I'm not going on shopping days with the girls. I'm not going out for bottomless brunch. So I've only got one friend, and we'll see each other like of an evening. You think it's funny? Like that's as much as I can cope with. Well, yeah, I've got like one friend, and we'll do like something of an evening, maybe once a week. Might go to the cinema or something. But you know, being at home a lot with young kids, like it's actually a good time to get some writing done, especially if you're blessed with napping.
yeah.
But it is getting harder. Like I must admit, it's getting harder. to stay on top of it. So at the moment, we've got 3 mornings of childcare, and that's like 8 till 12. I am at the keyboard, and I will not
That's
get off.
amazing.
Yeah, like I have to be at the keyboard because that's the only time I'm going to get any writing done.
Yeah.
Anything else is a bonus. But prior to, like, as I'm writing now, I'm kind of doing it like, 8 till 12, 3 days a week. But before that, I was spending like the evening doing it, or any nap times, or at the weekend sometimes. Like my husband would be sitting down to play like a game, and I'd be at my laptop writing because I just had to get it done. It was just, I just really wanted it, and I was like, I need to do this. So it cost me like a few, Saturday evenings and stuff. But yeah, now it's slightly different. But I'm just like, 8 till 12, I am at that keyboard, and if my husband wasn't around, because like he works from home, like he works away, but sometimes he's working from home. And
Mm.
the days that if he's not at home, I might not even eat or drink anything because I'm like, I've got so much work to do. Oh yeah,
Oh,
I've got time in the day to like, you know, well, I'm terrible. Like I might not have any breakfast, and it'll be like 11:30, and I'm like, oh, I was supposed to eat something, wasn't I?
yeah.
But yeah, it's just like this is all I've got. Make the most of it. And then
Nobody
I
ever
just
talks about the writer weight loss plan.
no, you just don't eat any foods. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
just black coffee
yeah,
and
coffee and no foods. Yeah. Oh, so guilty. So guilty of that. Um but yeah, I'm not advocating this diet and lifestyle to anyone, but no, just sheer pig-headedness. And also like when my youngest was younger, there were a lot more nap times. Whereas nap times are far and few between now. So I'm just internally screaming.
yeah, yeah, for sure. It's like we have a little bit of help with my kids, and then my oldest, who's 5, is in they have a thing here in California called transitional kindergarten. So it's sort of
Yeah.
between preschool and kindergarten, and so he's there for a good portion of the day. But like it's like a mad dash at the keyboard every day to get something done, and for me, it's Monday through Thursday. And so, like, if something lags till Thursday afternoon, it's like it's gone until next week. Like, I literally can't do anything from Friday through, the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you can't. And like you might get a spare minute, but if you do, it's just about getting something down. It doesn't have to be the thing. Just get
Yeah,
something down. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Do, do you want to talk a little bit about your new serial that you're working on that you just published a chapter of?
Salome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as well as being impatient, I'm quite impulsive. And like I'll go with an idea. I'll just be like, that sounds good, let's do it. Um and when people say, how do you know if the idea has legs? Is it gonna make it, to like a short story or a novel or whatever? I think ultimately the ones that I still think about when I get to the keyboard, they're the ones that have legs. So
Hmm.
I was gonna write Muldoon's third book. I just got started on that. I was cracking on with that. And then I realized there's a lot of lore in this that I'm trying to establish. A lot of world building, and there was a character that I was going to introduce, and I thought I can't just introduce them in, halfway
Oh.
through this book. I can't do that. Like I need to establish this world a bit more. So
Hmm.
there was going to be a character, and I thought, no, she's going to have her own book. Um, so I've ended up writing a spin-off novel before I get to book 3 because I need that depth. Do you know what I mean? Like I
Yes.
can't go into it and have all vampires and demons and Muldoon fighting and everything without telling myself what it's all about.
Uh-huh.
So Salome is basically just me explaining to myself what all the lore is of this world.
Okay.
Um, but in doing so, I've introduced someone who's going to be a major character. Not just in the next book, but could be in other books. Because I just didn't think a few chapters interacting with Muldoon was going to be enough. And I thought, you know what, this would be a really good serial. Because it complements. the Muldoon mysteries.
Oh.
A bit like kind of Angel spinning off Buffy, and there could be some overlaps. That's like my only reference. There must be other references, but that just reveals a lot about me, doesn't it? I'm like Angel and
Well,
Buffy
for
forever.
my age, it would be Joni Loves Chachi spinning off from Happy Days, right? It was just
Right,
a
yeah.
left turn, but there's a
Yeah,
little age difference there. So
but I got your reference. I worried I wasn't going to, but I did get that reference. Yeah, but it's what I've ended up with is just okay. This person's going to be a major character. We need a spin-off. And then I thought, well, a lot of my Substack subscribers already know about Muldoon. They already know about the books. They know where it's set. They know some characters. Some of them have read the books, so it's not going to be too much of a um, you know, going off the beaten path. But it just fits. It just fits nicely, and I thought that's a great thing to do as a serial. Now, bear in mind, I said I wasn't going to do any more serials after The Ring because
never say never.
that you never say never. What I've realized about serials is they're the only thing that get me to finish a novel. So I have to do them now.
Interesting. Interesting. So now that how far through writing Salome are you?
I'm about I've done a third, like done a third, not looking back. So I'm working my way through the muddy middle, or murky middle, whatever we call it, where we need things to happen before we get to the end, but they've also got to
Yeah.
be interesting. Um, so yeah, I'm about a third of the way through. I've given myself a buffer of 3 weeks, I want to say. Um, but this bit of smoke, up my backside, so to speak, helps me write books. Like I need the pressure. Like if
Yeah.
there's no pressure,
I'm not sure that that translates right because
is it
usually
fire, smoke? I don't
smoke
know.
up your backside is when somebody's telling you things that aren't like they're just puffing you up with things that aren't true. We I
Oh,
think
that's
maybe over here in the
sunshine.
U.S. we talk about feet to the fire, perhaps.
Right. No, no. We like if we're saying that, like bigging someone up, that's blowing sunshine up his ass. Um,
Ah, well,
that's what
okay.
we say.
Smoke up your ass,
Yeah.
sunshine up your ass. Like they mean the same thing, I think, to me. But
Yeah. But we know with this like a bit of smoke up your backside is the same as like feet to the fire in the translation.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm gonna have to work on that. By the way, everybody who was joined us who was hoping for a really in-depth discussion, this is where we devolved to.
But it's true.
It is. You're right.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
how
So,
that's how I
wh-
work.
I, so when you get to the third Muldoon book, will people have had to have read Salome to get it?
No. What? No, it's the Muldoon. The third Muldoon book is purely its own story. Like each one is its own story. The only
Right.
continuation is Muldoon as a character, and obviously the other
Right.
guys. There's a few main characters, but you don't have to have read the previous and so on. The idea is that is just me explaining the lore to myself and developing Salome in a separate book. And then
Got it.
the idea, this is what I'm hoping, is that people will discover Salome in book three and go, wow, I really love this character. Oh, look, she's got a whole book dedicated to her. I'm going to read it. You know,
Yeah.
that's the
Okay. Good.
plan.
I love it. I love that you could sort of create a quilt out of all of these stories, and sort of the entry point could be in many different ways for a reader to
Mm.
join in.
Yeah, I mean, they could read Salome first and then decide, oh, I like the sound of Gothic Liverpool. I'm gonna read the Muldoon mysteries. Yeah, I want them to complement each other. They don't have to be read in like chronological order or whatever. I think that's what George Martin did, wasn't it, with Ice and Fire? Oh, well, he had the series that all kind of followed
Right.
on, but then I think there were little spin-off books like about
Yeah.
House
I
of the
mean,
Dragon.
yeah, definitely not a new concept.
No, no. But I just thought it helps me build the world, and then I've got a reference point when it comes to how the characters understand. what's going on. Because it
Right.
was just very complex. It was like, oh, we've got demons, we've got vampires. Okay, Hannah, explain. How do all these come to be? Which version of the Bible are we following here? Like all these different things I had to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and yeah.
I on my list of questions for you is sort of the liver gothic side of things. So you have talked about this in posts and in notes a number of times about research
Oh yeah.
and how much I think the tenor is how much you like research, and
Mm.
because it's sort of you've laid out the groundwork sort of in the town that you're in, all of those little touch points of the history you could, you know, take a walk to or take a drive to, and you could see it firsthand. Um, as you've been researching, I'm curious, what's the are there crazy things that you found about the town that you live in? Are there like
Oh,
that you have found a way to work into your stories, or things that you're sort of that hang out in the back of your head and you're like, I've got to find a way to put that in there?
yeah. So in the ring, I was so obsessed with there was a photograph of the Stebble Fountain in Liverpool, and it's just on no William Street. I can't remember. Anyway, it's a big fountain. It's right by St George's Hall and like the library and everything. And there was a photograph, and it was taken in like 1912, something like that. And it's all these boys, and they've got no shoes on. They're like just poor, working class boys. And one of them is black. And in fact, I think it was earlier than that. It wasn't even the 1900s. I think it was the 1890s, which is when Muldoon is set. And one of the little boys was black. And I was like, oh, cool. Who is he?
Mm.
And the the lad, I've forgotten his name now, but he became a jazz musician when he got older.
Oh,
And I was like, obviously I can't put him that much in the story, but there is a scene where he is a witness
wow.
to some, supernatural goings on, and he is a witness, and he comes home and tells his dad, who's a Jamaican, and then his dad goes to the police. So I just wanted to get him in the story because it's just not talked about. Like there was a period before World War I where people in Liverpool, like I'm talking 100 years or so, like they had just lived in Liverpool like in harmony, right? And I'm not even exaggerating, like there is proof. Just in harmony. It didn't matter like you're Scandinavian, you're Jamaican, you're a freed slave. They would come and work here and live here, and Sailor Town was just so, multicultural.
Right.
And this lad at the fountain, he's just a working class boy like everyone else. They are all the same. None of them have shoes on, you know, and they are all the same. And I just thought, God, this was a period that was so different to how the rest of the country might have been at the time. Like just the people who lived here, the mariners, they had more knowledge of ports around the world. They had more knowledge of Shanghai than they did the Cotswolds.
Yeah.
London meant nothing to them. So just little things like that. I was like, I've got to get that in there. I've got to get a Jamaican at the police station because he would have lived there. And also just looking into the how people all lived together just in the same parts of the city.
Yeah.
um and yeah, I just really wanted to fit him in, and I think his name was William Masters. I think his name was the little boy. um
The actual person.
the real person, the real little boy was William Masters, and I put him in it as a witness. So he sees like a monster running through the streets kind of thing, and then he comes home and tells his dad, and he's in trouble with his dad because he was out in the night, and he's like, you sneaking out. But then his dad, who is like, he's a Jamaican, he's a devout Christian, he comes to the police and he goes, look, I asked him, I was like, are you telling the truth? Do you swear on this Bible? And he did. So I just made that little boy a
Yeah.
witness to one of the major events of the book.
Love it.
Just little things like that I'm like, I have to write about this.
Love it.
Yeah, yeah, but that was, I mean, other things that there've been horrible things that are, like I'm already writing something that is a horrible. I don't need to, add those as well. But there's some horrible things that happened, in like the 1840s, with crime and that I briefly mention in the Spider, but it's them mentioning it like from the past. It's not one of the events of the book. But yeah, all these things just add to the world building because it's like these are things that people would have lived with. These were things people heard about. These are things they would have read about in the newspaper or possibly known someone who knew someone and so on. But also, I wanted to make sure that I still had in there was a legacy of tension between the Irish and the English in Liverpool because although they were completely they completely wove into the fabric and are now, I mean, 85% of us who live here today have Irish heritage. Like
Mm.
we became the city, but there was still a bit of overhanging tension. I wanted to get that in there as well, and because it was very much just from a sectarian point of view. And I just thought, right, get that in as well, because these things will all have shaped how these characters think and how they see the world, and how they do their jobs and so on. Um, so yeah, it's funny, like writing about prejudices that they would have, because obviously today you wouldn't, but you're like, no, I've got to think through his point of view. Why would he have a problem with that, for example? And
Yeah,
then
well,
remember
the
things.
first time, yeah, the first time you introduce Muldoon when he goes into what's the chief inspector's name again? I
He's
can't.
waiting outside Gil's
He's wait
office.
right,
Yeah.
and there's that moment where he says Gil says something to him about the Irish, or
Well,
maybe
Lacey
it's when
does.
Detective Lacey's
Yeah.
coming out. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, he's
And
he's only young. He's just a constable, and he's in a bad mood, and he's just like, "What are you looking at, Mick?"
right, yeah,
Um.
but it's
Yeah.
those little nuances which would have been appropriate for the time that
Yeah.
you wouldn't have considered that today. Like nobody,
No, I
I
mean,
don't think.
I had to really look that up because I knew there was discrimination against the Irish in Liverpool, but I didn't know exactly how much. And then
Mm.
I had to look it up, and like a young man who's in a bad mood, he's just been humiliated because he's been punished by his boss, and then he sees someone's in the corridor, and it's the embarrassment of it, and he just
Yeah,
says,
overhearing the
like,
whole thing.
yeah, it's like, what are you looking at, you Mick? And then Muldoon handles it beautifully by saying, we all have a bit of Irish in us. Just ask your ma.
Yeah.
These are things
But
that
it's
you
such,
wouldn't.
but it's also such a like a blow as well. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a wonderful turn of phrase.
yeah. Well, it's just like, what kind of person do I want Muldoon to be? And yeah, just little things like that, and also how what I've observed by teaching boys and teaching young men in the past is there can be a big bus stop and then everyone's friends again within 20 minutes. Like boys are so different to girls in that respect, and men are the same. It just takes like there's one little clash and then all of a sudden they're shaking hands. Oh, say no more of it. It's whatever. So I just thought we need that atmosphere. This was an environment where like women weren't involved, women didn't work here. So how would all these male characters interact with each other? They'd be coarse to each other. They'd make jokes, and
For sure.
yeah. So so that was fun trying to get into the mind of it's like, right, 19th century man. How do you think? Ah, yeah.
Was there anything as you're doing your research? By the way, if anybody has any questions for Hannah, please put them in the chat. Was there anything that was during your research is unintentionally like that you found was spooky? Was like you sort of have this idea of the story that you're writing, but it's also influenced by the research that you do. Um,
Hmm.
even if it's not maybe something spooky that's local to you, but sort of that you've transposed and said, this is sort of how I could fit that into
Um,
the story.
I think the only thing that's spooky to me is how I find it so weird and unsettling how well I know this place. Like it's weird. And I'm not saying I've been there, like, oh, I've been there another life. I just mean it's weird how I can predict how it might look or how it might be, and then I look it up to make sure. So a lot of my research is to just validate what I thought was the case. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I find
Yeah.
that really weird.
Are and you're finding that your research or your intuition of what it had happened or how
Mm,
things had transpired was true?
yeah, I find that really
Okay.
freaky. But I don't know if it's just like all this subconscious, having. I mean, like I'm a proper Victorian nerd, and um, it's like when I was at uni, anytime we did 19th century, I was like, yes, just loved it. I don't know
Bring it.
why. Yeah, and when I taught it as well, so like I got to choose whatever the modules were when I was teaching A level lit, and I remember thinking, oh no, we're not going to go with like postmodern or anything. We're going to do 19th century because I think there's a lot they can learn from that. Um, and I was just obsessed. Like I did so much research maybe back then that it's all still lodged. Do you know what I mean? And
For
then,
sure.
yeah, I'll look things up to make sure that my kind of gut feeling about it was right, you know. But that's a bit freaky. It's like, why do I know so much? Like, I need to go to a pub quiz, you know. Um, yeah, it's just all this
You
useless
go win
information.
some money or at least a free night out, right?
Yeah, I've just got all this useless information that has been sitting there for years, lying dormant, and then,
I don't know a single creative person that doesn't have some cache of what they think is useless information like
yeah,
rattling around in their head that all of a sudden, well, kind of becomes like part of your livelihood.
yeah. If we all went to a pub quiz together, we'd smash it. Yeah. That's what I think about writing. Yeah. Do you have them
That's
over
right.
there?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's you just get asked the most random stuff. Um,
Yeah. I think that in the US most of the ones that I've been to are um either in a small pub where there's somebody sort of doing the Q&A and everybody sits at their tables and guesses and works in teams or whatever,
no,
or they have a little like controller and there's a screen and everybody puts in their guesses.
that's far too advanced. It's far too advanced. No,
Just
in
not
in
seeing
ye old England, it's ye old biro and paper.
yes,
Oh, yeah,
Biro. Yes.
biro. You don't call it a biro,
Uh
do you?
no, pen.
Pen.
Isn't Biro like the Italian name for that brand?
It's just what a pen is called now. Like
Oh,
no, like we have fountain pens and stuff and Parker but like any ballpoint pen is just called a biro.
any pen?
If it's a
Okay.
ballpoint pen, it's just called a biro.
Excellent. That'll make it
Yeah,
easy for me to remember.
yeah. Honestly, pub quiz information. What do the English call a ballpoint pen?
But that's a question that could only work in the States
Yeah.
or anywhere outside of the UK.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see. Oh, I know. Let's talk about trolls for just a minute. You did some troll smashing recently.
Yeah. When was that? Like, seems to be all the time.
There was a post that you made a while back, maybe a week ago. Uh, an argument. You had screenshots of. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
um, no, because there's so many. Was it
Okay.
about books? Was it about
Yeah.
what was it about?
I uh I think you know what? I should have left myself a better note about it.
Yeah,
Because
what were
it
the
was as I was
screenshots?
yeah, I can't remember. Okay, well we could skip that.
Yeah.
You're okay, so you're after you finish Salome, are you going into book 3, Muldoon?
The idea is that I'm
Or are you
writing
gonna
them alongside each other.
I see.
So the minute like Salome's gonna run, because I'm planning to get ahead with that. Salome's gonna run the serial, and then when that serial's over, because I mean that's gonna be a long time away. It's gonna be most of a year. I can be like, oh, here's book three, you know. Um, so I won't serialize every book, but
Mhm.
I'll serialize one that I think would make a good serial.
Yeah.
Because book three of Muldoon is actually going to be quite a big one. That might have to be book three and four, like as
Whoa.
a duo. Yeah, there's a lot that happens, and I just need to, I'm not trying to, I'm not, I don't know. It's just I feel now that if there's more that needs to come from it, then I will put that in.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah, it's the events of book three are so not complex, that's the wrong word. I don't want to put anyone off here, but the mystery is so big that
Mhm.
it's got like two parts to it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
yeah. So it's not the previous mysteries, I've been able to wrap it all up in one book, but this one is a bit more okay, well, we've solved that part of the mystery. Now we need to solve the overarching mystery, you know. Um,
I see.
And this is why Salome's happens because there's so much world building that needs doing. And I thought I can't introduce her without having established how everything works here.
I
Um,
see. I see. But would you imagine that we'll call it part one is in and of itself a whole story, or is it a cliffhanger?
I can't reveal that right now because no one will buy it. No one will buy it. But no,
I
like
think we have our answer, folks.
yeah, what I'm gonna do is oh, I got in so much trouble for that, like there was drama in the book community on threads about cliffhangers and people saying it's wrong, there should be a trigger warning for the cliffhanger. And I just posted and said, wow, there's been some real discussion about cliffhangers. My thoughts are as follows.
And you stopped right there, didn't you?
I got in so much trouble. Like,
Brilliant. Brilliant. I love
yeah. All the people who came to check to see what I'd said, I didn't say anything. Um, so that's what I think about cliffhangers. So that might make a good reel. But no, like yes, it will kind of end with a bit of unresolved it's things. But what I plan to do is have enough in that book to satisfy the reader because other things will have been resolved, you know?
Ian.
But
Ian says
yeah,
cliffhangers for
cliffhangers for
life.
life. Yeah. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with wanting people to just love it so much that it drives them mad that they can't immediately read the next book? What is wrong with that? It's like,
As long as it's available quickly, right?
well, I was thinking about having them out in quick succession,
Okay.
so that there's no 5 year wait, because that would be silly. Like, no, it's going to be in quick succession. I was actually even toying with the idea of releasing them at the same time. I don't know yet, because I'm still working this whole publishing game out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got one massive overarching mystery, and we're going to resolve some of the mysteries in book one. But everyone wants to know how we're going to resolve the big one
Yeah.
because it will be hinted at the end what the big mystery is. Do you know what I mean? Um,
Yeah. Probably a bit more than hinted, right? Like you have to set it.
I have. Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So yeah, and people want to know the outcome. I mean, Ian Barr's in the chat right now, and I already told him that Muldoon might find himself in danger. You know,
It
he's
makes sense.
he's had a good time of it so far. Got to add a bit of pedal,
Just a little bit of
haven't
pedal.
we? Yeah, got to keep people, concerned for Muldoon's welfare.
Excellent.
Um, yeah, because I could end it there. I could decide that's the end of the series.
Yeah.
Could just end with part two of that one. I might have
Well,
had
then
enough for all you know.
maybe, but then you have your whole Muldoon set and your offshoot.
Well, that's it. I might just go into making loads of offshoots, you know.
Why
Yeah,
not?
yeah. But no, I'm excited about it. Like this is the most planning I've ever done for the book. Um, yeah, I'm excited about it. So that's 3 books that I've committed to. I'm not overwhelmed at all.
And we've already discussed for those who are just joining us that there's like 3 days a week for 4 hours a day. That's what you get.
You know. Yeah.
And then it's
Anything in
stolen
addition
time
is
here and there.
there. Yeah, but that's all it was. Like when I started, it was all stolen time. Like Oceanus was written on stolen time, you know. So like I don't even care if like if someone leaves a review and goes, oh, it needed a bit more to it, or you know, whatever. I'm like, it was a miracle that book exists, pal. So you know, it was all stolen time, and
Oh, there
yeah,
it is.
yeah, that book is a miracle. That was all written in stolen time. In fact, I should just put that across the top, shouldn't I? Um,
Can
but
redo your
yeah,
cover. Written in stolen time.
written in stolen time. Yeah. Oh, I've got mine here because my husband made sure he was like, "You want to have your books?" It's like, "Do you
There you
need your books?"
go.
Yeah, like yeah, put your books next to you just in case you need them.
Excellent.
Um,
What a good
yeah.
mate. That's nice.
Yeah. So he just wanted to make sure that I had all the books at a moment's notice. But yeah, that was all written in stolen time, and I was exploring how to tell a long story. I was exploring how to write a novel. I'm not really into expanding things that might not need expanding, you know. And yeah, so it was amazing that it even happened. To be honest, and I'm glad it did.
Well, I'm glad you brought up Oceanus because I was wondering if because it's a reference to Shakespeare's The Tempest,
Yeah.
are there any other works like that that's sort of in the pantheon of great literature that you thought I could hang a story on that idea?
Well, I did think like when Muldoon is done, when and if, because you never know, you never know. When Muldoon is done, I did want to do more of these in the same universe, not necessarily a series, but definitely in the same world, because a lot of people about Oceanus kind of said, I wanted to see more of this thing. I can't describe what this thing is because some people haven't read it, but there's a thing in this book that is revealed, and a lot of reviewers were like, "Oh, I wish I'd seen more of it. I wanted to see more of it." And I'm like, "Well, maybe you will." So that there are other stories I want to tell in this universe that feature this thing that people
Uh-huh.
wanted to see more of. So I need to do that. I want to do a Macbeth one. Um,
Mm,
you know, also set in the 24th century, also set on a colony, because it is just ripe for a Muldoon, not a Muldoon on the brain, a Macbeth story. Um, but no, that has been planned.
mm.
Yeah, thing that's where a lot of intrigue. Like, so if there was a whole series, a whole universe about the thing that some of us know about here, some of us don't. Um, then I think that would kind of, you know, be good. But yeah, I'd love to write more of these. But at the moment, Muldoon's the one who's paying me. Um, Oceanus is like the forgotten first child. Um, and it's a shame because like it's a good book. I love that story. That's the one that got me writing. You know,
Yeah.
that's the book that brought me to Substack. I just turned around to my husband one day and I said, you know, at the back of my mind for years now, I've always wanted to write a sci-fi story inspired by The Tempest. And then I just went and did it. Um and but unfortunately like Muldoon happened and he's the one paying the bills right now. So I have to wait and then come back to um the the
I
Oceanus
love it.
kind of, yeah.
I
But
love
no,
it.
this
Well,
is
then
yeah,
every couple of years you can alternate, and there'll be a third series of something else later. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like then you sort of have like your alternating years of what you want to do.
yeah. Like I would love to do more of this because the sci-fi ones, for me, it's a completely different style of writing because I don't have to do loads of historical research. I
Mhm.
don't have to make sure I've got all my street names right. Um, it's just go into the future and have an adventure, Like, who's going to tell me that's not how they do it on Mars? Like, no
For
one.
sure.
Yeah. So,
Well, but
yeah.
but isn't that the wonderful delight of speculative fiction anyway, where you can sort of make it up or lean on the abstraction in a way where people are like, yeah, it's possible.
Yeah. Well, I that was one of the things I really wrestled with sci-fi because I'm not much of a hard sci-fi reader or writer. The stuff really turns my brain to cabbage. But I can write. I like soft sci-fi. So, like, technically, The Handmaid's Tale is sci-fi.
Sure.
1984 is technically sci-fi. Oh, there's so much that you don't even think about, that are technically sci-fi. And I love H.G. Wells.
Oh
Like the
yeah.
time machine, bloody love it. So writing it and reading it and stuff, I just feel you can write a decent soft sci-fi story where people would go, oh yeah, that is plausible. That's all you need, isn't it? Like you say, but with kind of writing a bit more gothic horror, if it's set in a more if it's set in a time that really happened, and set in a place that really existed, I find the world has to be watertight. Like it has to
Mhm.
be as accurate as possible. Doesn't matter that there's ghosts, doesn't matter that there's vampires or werewolves or whatever. Like
But
the
why?
canvas.
But why is that?
Well, because people, you've asked the reader to invest in, you've asked them to believe. And
Mhm.
I'm like, how can they get invested in the stuff I've made up if the real thing doesn't just settle into it? Like I don't want to throw them off with things. And it's a bizarre thing, the suspension of disbelief. Like a reader will give a lot.
Uh-huh.
But if you start messing around with historical facts, then it doesn't matter if there's vampires in it. They're like, no, 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 not realistic enough.
That's
It's
but that's a really interesting aside. But the idea that somebody might say there's not a market on that street corner where that could have happened.
yeah. Well, it's not even that. It's what it is. It's tiny details that really upset people. Now, something that happens a lot, like absolutely no disrespect to my American friends here because it's none of you. But there are a lot of kind of gothic murder mysteries set in Victorian London or Victorian made up villages. And it's written by an American writer who, God love them, they've come up with a great story, but they haven't done any research. So as a result, we've just got these little nitpicky things that just really, really wind up the British reader. And like, forget that there's ghosts in it. Forget that there's a werewolf or a witch's coven. Like, no, we don't have sidewalks. It's just tiny. Yeah.
It's,
Or like,
I
there's no
love the
raccoon
like
in the trash
across the
can.
Atlantic smackdown that's happening.
Yeah, it really winds people up, and you've got to be careful. And like, personally, I wouldn't write about Victorian London because I just think everyone's writing about Victorian London. But just you want the reader to just immediately slip into that world, and then they are prepared for the made up stuff, you know. But if the world doesn't seem not realistic, that's the wrong word. I suppose if it's a world that they can't associate with, but they should be able to associate with it because it's historical fantasy, for example, then you have to make it, you know, you have to make the background completely, um, like it'll just blend in. They don't
Yeah.
care. They don't care about what's going on in the background. They're invested in the characters. But if you distract them with things like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be something that you guys had, but we didn't, for example. That will throw them off. You know,
Huh.
tiny things.
Okay. I think that sometimes people are too picky, but that's just me.
Yeah. But people can be pushed out of the story and it's just tiny things. Like it could be it could be a Georgian lord saying, "Okay, cool, see you later."
Of
And
course.
people will go, "Whoa, hang on a minute, that's 21st century language." And that throws them out. So there's there's this kind of unspoken rule about when you're trying to write fantasy or any speculative that takes place in a real world, but obviously we've got extra bits. It has to be as real and, you know, natural as possible. It's a bizarre thing. And I wouldn't even say I'm a picky reader. I just think sometimes you will be thrown out for something really silly because you can't stop thinking about it.
Mm.
And we as writers need to make sure that we don't distract the reader with things that aren't important to the story,
I think
you
that's
know?
true. I think that's true. Uh, I want to say thank you for being here because we've hit an hour, and I want to make good use of your time because it's the end of the day for you.
Yeah, but it's a Sunday. I'm off.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah, kids
Um,
are in bed, husband's dealing with all that. Anyone who gets
excellent.
up, yeah,
Excellent. My wife took off with our kids earlier, and so I'm literally it's just me.
free as a bird.
Well, me and the
Thank you.
dogs.
I want to be here with you guys. You know, like it's nice to come on and have a chat because, you know, is there a lonelier job than writing? You know, I suppose
There is.
Lighthouse keep.
Yeah. I was gonna say that the guy who cleans the lion cages at night.
Mm, yeah, but he's at least he's like, you know, at the zoo, with animals. Like, but yeah, no, you can just get lost in your own head. It's nice to, you know, come on and talk about books and, you know, what everyone's doing.
All right. I am gonna get out my extended list of questions then. All right. I'm gonna let's. This has actually been at the top of my list, and I have not uh figured out the right way to talk about this. But let's talk about Scouts for a minute.
Right.
Um,
Oh,
there
Scout.
was some debate about what it is and what it isn't. Uh, Corned beef hash sounded about as close to what it is to me, but what is it to you?
Corned beef hash is cooked potatoes, usually with no skin. So like they'll either be diced or mashed, and you have them with onions. You know, fry some onions, cooked potatoes, and then you have baked beans with them. Um,
On a side.
which yeah, like it's part of the meal. You just have yeah, you have that with baked beans. And
Bye, Lindsay.
bye bye, Lindsay. Yeah. But yeah, it's just potatoes, corned beef. Because we get corned beef in a tin here. I don't know
Uh-huh.
if
Yep, same.
yeah, yeah. So oh, it's Prince's, isn't it? Uh,
Or I think there's another brand called Dinty Moore here.
oh, okay, no, never heard of them. But we have Prince.
Yeah.
It's normally Prince's corned beef, and you just have that chopped up with chopped potatoes or mashed potatoes, and some beans and a bit of Worcester sauce. And that's corned beef hash.
Yeah. And yeah,
Yeah.
that's the I say this because I grew up in a trailer at one point. Spam and potatoes is the corned beef version for low rent. Uh, I've had it. I
What's
love it.
click? What's click?
Ian,
Spam
you're gonna
click.
have to Ian's gonna have to describe that. Maybe it's a Canadian
Mm.
version.
Yeah,
But
we have spam.
I guess here's the real question that I was doing research on Scouse, and there are
Yeah.
two teams. There's sort of Team Beetroot and Team Red Cabbage. Do either one of
Right.
those exist in your version?
I like both.
Both.
Like it's yeah, it's whatever's in the shop. Because
Or
sometimes
at the
if you
fridge.
yeah, like sometimes if you go to Aldi, they'll have beetroot in, and then other times they'll just have the cabbage. But our red cabbage, you can get we you can get like the sauerkrauty version. It's just kind of,
Uh,
which I think tastes nicer, but that's not as common. We have it kind of, it's shredded but quite thickly, and it's in a vinegar. Um,
yeah.
no, I like both. Like I'd have both.
Okay.
Um,
So
yeah,
there's no divisional line there. It's not like
no,
Protestant Catholic. Like you're okay with either.
yeah, yeah.
All
You
right.
just get what's available. Yeah. Um,
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No
Uh,
particular preference.
CB said fried spam. Hell yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Take it right
fried
out of the
spag.
tin, slice it in a loaf, throw it in the pan. Okay, so let's talk about we talked a little bit about Pinterest and stuff earlier. Talking about sort of marketing in the digital age, or what I refer to as shouting into the void. You do a
Well,
lot.
that's a very pessimistic
It is.
view of
It is.
Jay.
It is. But I'm also like I'm a fan of the things that I see that really like draw me in. Like I want to know more about those things. So I know that it works because I'm a kid who grew up watching TV and wanting to call the 1-800 number that was on the commercial,
Yeah.
or buy the toy that the kids were showing me. So like I'm not immune to the salesman aspect of it. But I also know that from the flip side of it, it often feels like that where you don't know if anybody's listening.
I don't have that. I just assume they are and they're not interested.
Interesting. But
Yeah.
there are people, and you just haven't found the right way to entice
Yeah.
them. Okay,
It's just that like,
that's a very optimistic version of things.
yeah, I'm just like, if it's not doing well, then I haven't found my people, or there's something I'm not doing right because I'm seeing it from my point of view. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
this looks like an interesting thing, but I haven't considered, if I was just scrolling, would this stop me? And that, would I look at it? I think
yeah.
that's what a lot of us do, because we know we've put loads of effort into whatever it is. Like
Hmm.
it could be a great video we've done. It could be obviously a great story we've written, a great book. We know it's good, but it's like, how do you convince someone who knows nothing about you? They've never seen you before. How do you convince them that this
Yeah,
is good as you say it is? And I think you just have to detach yourself and go, right, okay, well, what would catch my attention?
yeah, for
Um,
sure.
yeah, but
Have you seen anything recently that you thought, ah, that that captures my attention, even if it's not book related?
um, well, this is awkward because I've seen a lot of stuff about bras on Instagram, but yeah,
If that's where you're going to take the conversation, that's
I
fine.
remember them, and it's purely because they shock you with, look how bad my boobs are. Now they're fixed. Like that is, and I'm like, oh yeah, they are bad. Oh, them out. Um, that caught my attention, but as for like books and stuff, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that's how they get you, Erica, to just distract you. But no, I'd be looking, I'd be going, oh yeah, you need to get a better bra, girl. That's what caught my attention. But no, I think what I've learned, because unfortunately, like lately, I've spent a lot of time looking at marketing stuff. So people have got like, oh, here's my free PDF showing you how to do this. Or
Yeah.
I will say though, while I'm here, Leslie Sainty, who does a lot of book marketing work, I bought her little book. It was about £6, I think, on sale, and it was just so straightforward. It was getting you to think differently. It was like, stop thinking of with lack mentality. So you focus on how many followers you don't have, how many book sales you don't have, how many newsletter subscribers you wish you had. You focus on all the things you haven't got. You focus on the views you're not getting. You focus on the comments you're not getting. It's lack mentality. And the minute you start not focusing on that anymore, you're focusing on what you're going to achieve. It's like, well, I want people to stop and think about this, or I want people to notice this. Like, what do you want? I think a lot of us don't know what we want. We're just like, we want to sell the book. And but it's never going to be that straightforward. It's like, okay, well, before you get to the book sale, what do you want from people? Do you want them to just consider you as an author? Do you want them to be curious? Do you want them to sign up to your newsletter? Like, what do you want? And
Hmm.
you have to pick one thing at a time to focus on.
Hmm.
Um, so I think things that make me want to sign up, I've noticed. So that might be the Lego magazine for my kids. Like I might have seen an advert for that and I'm like, oh, that'd be fun because my kids would like that.
Yep.
But it's just trying to think like someone who's not you. It's like, why would anyone give a shit about this book I wrote?
Yeah.
It's one of millions. Who cares?
Right.
But I find, like I said this the other day on Substack, and people thought I was having a drip. Some people were like, "Oh, you need to stop being so pessimistic." I was like, "No, no, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you're on Substack." And everyone's lovely, and everyone's like, "Yeah, come on, let's sell books. We're all great writers. You're great. You're great. I love you. I love you too." We all just love each other on here.
Yeah.
And when you go out into the wider world, when you go on like TikTok and Instagram and so on, it's like no one gives a shit. You're no one out
For
here.
sure.
Um, and I sometimes joke with my husband, I'll say, they don't know what a big deal I am on Substack, because it means nothing. It means nothing to them. So you just got to remember, like, you go out there and it's like, okay, well, no one cares. So when you make a reel, remember, no one cares. Just do it anyway. So if you get it
Yeah.
wrong, no one cares.
Right. You get
No
it
one's
wrong,
gonna
then you
like,
just do it again. You do it some other way, or
yeah, and
if something hits, then you're like, "What about that hit?" And you just try to
yeah,
figure it out.
it's mad. I've decided like I'm gonna stop showing my face on TikTok now because my videos with me in do much worse than when I just put a photo carousel together.
Oh,
I'm
interesting.
like, yeah, so a few slides that I've made on Canva do much, much better than me coming out and meeting me public. What's that about?
Maybe they're not ready yet.
No, they're not ready. Not ready for me. Not ready for me and my big
That's fair.
entourage of Substack.
I want to like uh I was telling Sean McDonald this last night or this morning. Uh I had somebody reach out to me on Substack, and they sent a private message that basically said, "Can you stop shilling books? Can you stop, you're a stakeholder in this company, Tiny Worlds, but like can you just tone it down a little bit?" I was thinking like, "Huh, that's a really interesting way to, first of all, introduce yourself. And second of all, like, why would you ask somebody in the writer community to stop talking about the things that they've done that they're proud of? Like, why would you bother to do that? Like, stepping out of your way to say, we don't need to hear about it."
Well, I mean, from an artist's point of view, like they're policing your joy. From a business point of view, the minute you stop selling, the sales stop.
For sure.
Like you're not just going to sit at home and go, right, today I'm going to manifest. People are just going to think about me
They're just gonna
because
be
that
there.
doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. So if someone doesn't like what you're doing, the beauty of social media is they can just mute you or unfollow you or
Yeah,
block you and you just carry on. Like
that's right.
if you don't want to hear about my books, don't follow me. Like,
That was my suggestion too. I
yeah.
might have been a little more rude about it.
Well, it is like it's rude. You just met rude with rude. It's like
Yeah.
don't police me. I hate that. I hate that. Like when you get a comment and it'll say, "Oh, maybe don't do this, or maybe don't write about this, maybe don't talk about this," and it's like, why are you policing me?
Yeah.
It's like, are you going home to like a full-time job? Have you got bills that are covered? Well, some of us haven't, so we're out here.
Yeah.
Um, Working for it.
I think of honestly the nearest competitor in my mind of the sometimes the things that we post on social media, especially when we're selling ourselves or our books or promoting our friends, is like busking. It's like standing on a street corner and just hoping to God somebody hears your tune and wants to stay for a minute, wants to throw a coin in the case. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the closest way that I can describe what we're doing on a daily basis, trying to show people like what we got.
That's exactly what it is. And, people are welcome to scroll on. Like, it's a free world. Just scroll on. Yeah, messaging people to say, oh, can you not talk about your books today? It's like, life goes on. Have you emailed Jeff Bezos and asked him to stop advertising? It's like,
Right.
yeah. Have you emailed the president and asked him to shut up today?
Oh,
They
actually,
don't.
that's on my list to do today, by the way.
Yeah, no, they just police you because you're the little guy. But yeah, there's no winning. You've got to hustle, like Ben says. You've got to hustle without looking like you're hustling. I think as well, like obviously, when it comes to self promotion on Substack, I always feel I need to be respectful around my peers. Because I don't want to be spamming everybody like buy my book, buy my book, buy my book, because like we all want that, you know.
Mhm.
Um, but when I go out into wider social media, the gloves are off. You know, it's like there's millions of people out here, and some of them are gonna like my book, so better go and
And and
find them.
and and you know such a small percentage of them.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
I don't feel ashamed at all, by the way, about shilling. I think it's
no,
actually that's just the
it's
nature of
not
what we.
shilling. It's not shilling. Like if you were selling,
It's not shilling in the traditional sense where there's a plant or somebody who's saying, "Hey, I really enjoyed this thing over here. You should go check it
yeah,
out." It's not the same. It's not,
no,
from a Barker's perspective is sort of what I meant by it.
yeah. It's just I made this thing. I made this professional thing. It's a proper book.
Yeah.
And if you like this kind of story, then you might like mine. Like, there's no
Yeah.
harm in saying that.
Yeah.
That's just, that's what we should all be doing. Is and also I've had so much fun with someone told me yesterday on Substack what it's called. It's called open loop marketing, and I love it. So I discovered this by myself. I'm very proud of this because it took me don't know how many years. But I thought I know what I'll do. I'll try. I'll just tell people the story, you know.
Uh,
And, but I'll leave it open. Obviously, it'll be like because at first I thought no, because then I'm revealing it all, and then actually I'm not. I'm just piquing their interest.
yeah.
Because we're all nosy. Like people are nosy. They can't help it. So if you just like, oh, she, what would she do if this happened? And I just started doing that, and then all of a sudden I've got people saying, oh, I need to know more. And I
Right.
thought, is this easy? All that stress, and that's all you've
Right.
got to do.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm just going to do that all the time now because why put the effort into all those other things?
I do like the idea of just getting to a certain point in the conversation and going, if you'd like to know more, there's the
Yeah.
book.
Yeah, but Jay has a publishing company. To those of you who don't know, and he's trying. Like, just listen to what an absolute shark this fella is. This Jay Curtis. He's trying to support other authors. So like when you buy books from Tiny Worlds, that supports other authors rather than just lining Jeff Bezos's pockets. Isn't he just a scoundrel? Like,
That's
what is he even playing at?
I can't believe that there was somebody that would stoop to those lows.
Yeah, I know. Just, despicable Jay. Like, how
That's
dare
right.
you try and promote other authors? How
Well,
dare you not just put yourself first?
it's just
Yeah.
me. It's just me. Everybody's surrounded by me. I am
Yeah.
the center of the galaxy.
Yeah. Erica makes a good point. Attention spans are so short these days. They are, and everyone's busy, and there's so much going on. I mean, when I'm doing a video, it will often show me in the analytics. This is when people lost interest in your video. I'm like, thanks Instagram, thanks for that. And they only stick around for 2 seconds, and it's like, how would you hook someone in 2 seconds? Like, that's the time it takes to blink, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I don't
yeah.
know. It's a good question, and it would seem that there are a lot of people out there that want to sell you the answer to that.
Oh, yeah, so many. And they're all in your inbox going, hey, I can help you with your marketing. It's like, look, if anyone knew the answer, we would have all discovered it by now.
Well,
Um,
you wouldn't be asking me for my
no,
$5.
no. And I just think the best thing any of us can do is just be real and be ourselves. And, um, as boring as we may think we are, I think just adding your spin on things, adding your personality to things, it really brings people to you. You don't have to be like inspiring like Charles Manson, but you just have to, be yourself.
You heard it here first, folks. You don't have to be inspiring like Charles Manson.
Yeah, I mean, he got people to follow him. Like, how hard can it be? Like, you don't even have to be, the full shilling. Um, and you can get people to follow you. And yeah, but yeah, I just thought, just be yourself. Um, yeah,
Uh,
I want to be the next Charles
Erica,
Manson. Erica, shh. Yeah, Erica.
would you buy Charlie Manson's book? I think some people did. You think he did have a book?
Did he? What, like a
Yeah.
fiction book?
Oh no, I don't think it was fiction.
All right.
You know what? I may be talking out of class. Let's see.
Because I don't know why I think it's more satisfying when you find out that they failed at something before they became monsters.
Oh, oh no, that's Mark Manson. That's different. Anyway,
No.
I can't find it.
But yeah, what I was going to say about marketing, and if anyone's watching this and they're worried about self-promotion on Substack, I mean, I'm not going to say any names, but there's people on Substack who have no issue promoting their books. They have no issue promoting them, and they have no issue with considering what would be the appropriate space to promote this book. Um,
Mhm.
but the majority of us, like, really, you'd be amazed how many people forget. Not just that
Yeah.
you exist, but they forget that you've even written a book.
Well,
Um,
something really interesting, and I don't have really good data around this, but in the last 2 weeks that Sean and I have been talking about his book, Cherry Kills, which is
mm,
available now uh, uh, for pre-order, uh, there have been waves of people that have come to purchase the book. And we've been talking about it not quite every day, but almost every day since the 22nd of January. It's interesting to me because people either aren't paying attention. They saw it and they forgot about it. They resaw it, or they're off the platform for long enough that they finally catch something later on. But there's like these waves when they do
mm.
hear a message and they are interested in the book, which is great. I mean, even Ian hit me up last night. He didn't know that we had an ebook for Cherry Kills, and now he knows that.
Yeah, you would be amazed. You will feel like you've said it till you're blue in the face, whatever it
Yeah.
is. And then people will go, "Oh, I didn't know that." It's like there's people who followed me on Instagram for years, and then they'll be like, "Oh, I didn't know you did that."
You
And
wrote
then
a book?
yeah,
What?
yeah. And I think what I forget, when I was saying before about being a writer, you have to be patient.
Yeah.
What I often forget is that other people have lives, and you are not at the top of their agenda, and nor should you be, So
Why
you've
not?
just got to remember that people tap in, tap out.
Yes.
Yeah, and you will always be repeating yourself. That's another thing. Don't be scared to repeat yourself. Um,
Ben
it's
is
all interest
You're
is.
absolutely right. Gotta see something so many times, 10 times, 5 times, 50 times, doesn't really matter the number, but like you gotta keep seeing it before you're like, "Oh, okay, I should look into that." Because but there has to be
Yeah.
something in it that like piques your interest at the same time.
Definitely, and it just weighs at the back of your mind. I mean, I'm just trying to think of examples. It could be like a series that you've seen advertised, and I mean, there's some rubbish thing at the moment that they keep advertising in between scenes in Fallout. I can't remember what it is. It's another Amazon series, but it looks rubbish to me. But I've seen it about 50 times, so I think about it. But I just
Yeah.
think about it as in, God, that looks rubbish. But I've seen it so many times, and it's obviously doing all right since it started because it's been advertised so much.
Well,
So yeah,
you
said.
ostensibly it has.
Yeah, unless they have boob jobs. So as Erica saying about those bra adverts, like,
That's right.
they
Well, yeah,
distracted me because it was such a deviation from the norm in my feed. It was like, this isn't what I normally see. It's normally just like readers and knitters and maybe the odd dog and cat. Um, and then there's just bra adverts. Yeah. And that's because I won't pay for the ad-free version of Instagram. So
yeah.
yeah, it's like, okay, well, we'll show you loads of bras instead.
Well,
Uh,
but then you also get to see sort of I hasten to call it I don't want to call it competition, but also the other book authors out there that are
yeah,
working to sell you. Like, I think that's sort of the benefit of not having an ad-free platform too, where you can kind of see what everybody else is doing.
yeah. Um, no, it's a funny one about other authors because I don't see them as competition. I see, like, it gives me hope that there's readers out there for me. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah. So, like, at the moment, Gothic horror is doing really well. Um, and that just makes me think, okay, well, when people have read all of these, then that gives me a bit of hope, you know.
Hmm.
And but yeah, I mean, it would be good to see more of what people are doing. But I did end up just going straight to there's an author on TikTok. I'm terrible. You're like, what are the things that have had an impact on you? And I'm like, well, obviously anything that can benefit me. That's all of us. Like we are interested in things that you know, benefit us some way. This is what I was
Hmm.
saying about him before. So it's all well and good us thinking about how great our book is ultimately in the subconscious of every person in the world, everything that they look at, they think, okay, well, what does this mean in relation to me? How does this benefit me?
Right.
That's just how people think.
Hmm.
And I don't know if it's like a survival thing from, that we've inherited that, like, oh, is this something that's going to be good for me? I don't want to engage with it. So there was an author who does like marketing stuff on TikTok, but it's not like scammy. She's literally just this bright young thing who is all over marketing and social media and stuff. It's what she does for a living, and she's also an author. And I'm like, wow, you're quite inspiring and much younger than me, so you must know stuff. Um, and all her kind of marketing material that she's been using is just think of your reader, like what's in it for them. Um, so
Hmm.
the things that I have noticed most have been things where there's something in it for me. Like, for example, she's got a spreadsheet that you can pay for. I don't know, it's like a monthly fee of £6 or something. And it's like 30 days worth of ideas for your next reel or your next carousel, or it's done
Hmm.
for you. Do you know what I mean? You just have to make it. It's just like,
Hmm.
make a video talking about this, and that's it.
I see.
But I paid attention to that because ultimately it was, well, what's in it for me? How will that help
Yeah.
me achieve
Yeah.
my goal? And
Yeah.
and that's why,
How can I skip over a certain part to get to that later section
yeah. Or,
faster?
or how can I make sure I'm doing it better? You know, like there could be something you are already doing, like marketing your books, and you just want to make sure that you're covering every angle.
Yeah.
So
There's a big what it
subsets
Eric.
ads that we take outside, we take to the outside social media. Oh, right, okay. What we need
Oh, I see.
encouragement.
Like an A/B test within the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Erica, that's a really interesting idea. See sort of which things take fire. Uh, knowing the audience is going to be quite different, though. I think
Yeah,
certainly the algorithm of all the writers that we know that we talk to on a regular basis via Substack,
they cared about different things. Um,
peer editing
like
marketing strategies. Yeah, 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 for sure.
Yeah. Well, I think the guys on Substack, like, you could have a really bad cover, but because they're writers too, and they get to know you and they like you and they like what you've
Yep,
written, they're going to give you the chance. Whereas out in the big world, people are not that forgiving.
for
Um,
sure.
and yeah, we're not shilling. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, like aside what would grab people's attention. Um, yeah, no, it's Oh, and another thing as well, it depends on genre. So the guys who do like romance will be marketing their books in a completely different way to the guys
Mhm.
who write like thrillers or sci-fi or that's something else I've realized.
Yeah, I've actually been bookmarking, I guess, or following. That's a new version of bookmarking, right? Like publishing companies and the materials that they use, because I like that one caught my eye, that one didn't. Like I won't say the
Mm,
ones that didn't, but like all the ones that have caught my eye, where I'm like, oh, that's a really interesting way to do it. And obviously, I'm an N of one, right? But also there was something that caught my eye there, and there are probably more people like me. Um, so
yeah.
yeah, I think there's lots of things where if you can sort of like use somebody else's dollars, right? Because they've put money and or time and the combination of the two into that, so that you can see an advertisement that you go, oh, I really like that. Then you can start to like field it for yourself and start to filter it in a way that you go, these ones were actually meaningful. I saw something in these, and maybe that's worth replicating.
Mm, yeah. But ultimately we just we just look at things and we're like, how can this work for me? So
Hmm.
Instagram publishing houses, I can follow what their posts look like. Yeah.
Yeah.
I I do that. So I'll see who's traditionally published and who's traditionally published in my genre. What are they doing? Because then you learn what their marketing team are doing with them, and you're like, okay, well
Right.
they think this works, so I'm going to do the same thing. Yeah, steal like an artist. Um, yeah, Erica's just full of good things. Yeah,
She, and she's like so highly productive. She's got like 100 things going on at once.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, things just everything looks. Yeah, no, Ian, that is a great point. So everything congeals into a blurry mass so that everything looks too similar for me to give a shit anymore. Yes, I see that. I absolutely see that. So I took a risk on Pinterest a couple of weeks ago. I thought, right, no one else is doing this, so I'm gonna have a go. I just made a pin. I just made it and I put some covers on there, like some classics. I was trying to promote the Shade in the Sands, and I was
Mhm.
looking at some because Egyptian Gothic isn't actually that big a subgenre. There's not much out there, and I thought,
Mhm.
oh, what have I done here? So I looked up, like Arthur Conan Doyle and Anne Rice, and I got their book covers, and I just put them on a pin together. So it was
Mhm.
like a bright coloured background because a lot of them are using like red or black. So it was like a velvety purple background, and I just put the covers on there, like all six of them, and I just said, books about Gothic Egyptomania. And I thought, no one else is doing this. No one else is doing
Mhm.
this because I used the search bar and I have had a look and no one's doing this. So I did it and that pin has gone viral.
What?
Um, yeah. So
That's great.
yeah, so I saw that it was getting a lot of traffic, so I immediately ran to my I've got an Amazon affiliates account and I
Yeah.
put all the links in. I was like, here's the books, put the links in. Um just unexpected. And then what I try and do is anything that does really well, I have a look and I think, right, why did that do well? What was different this time?
Yeah.
And I think Ian made a good point then when everything just looks the same. And like I said earlier about TikTok, it's all the same book covers. If you do something different or put things together that you don't normally see together, it catches people's attention.
Mhm.
Um, but the problem is you've got to think about that all the time, and that's when it gets tiring. You're not full
For
of great
sure.
ideas today. But yeah, I did something different there, and what I'll do is I'll share it on notes because there might
Yeah,
be
that's
some there might be something you do. Oh God, how much time on the marketing?
So
It
much
really
time.
depends. Well, yeah, it really depends because the marketing, I can just do that on my phone while I'm with the kids, depending on what it is. Like,
Yeah.
I could take, and I would say I spend about 30 to 45 minutes a day on marketing.
Mhm.
And that could be
And
a variety.
what do you do in yeah, what are you doing during that time?
My favorite thing is making stuff on Canva. Like, I do that for like a play after I've done some work, you know. Um, but I'll make pins for the week, I'll make carousel slides, or what I'll do is I'll collect ideas. So, say I had an idea to talk about a certain thing, I'll make a note of it. Or if I've got like I plan then, and if I've got time to like record a reel, for example, because videos on social media can actually carry you quite a distance. If you're
Mhm.
trying to find external audiences. So obviously a lot of the stuff that you show in your feed through photographs and carousels, they will be popular with your audience that you already have, your followers. But reels are the way to catch attention of people who don't follow you. And you can get
Mhm.
a lot of time out of that. So, I'll just spend that 30, 45 minutes and it'll either be I've got an idea that I just need to quickly make some slides about, or what I'll do is I'll download the blanket images from Canva that I've put together to my phone, and then I'll think, right, okay, tomorrow I'll do a carousel on that about this thing. So, it could be I did one that was books that blend gothic horror with psychological horror, and I chose three classic or traditionally published books, and then I put mine in the fourth slide. You just
Mhm.
pick. It could be a
Right.
subgenre, it could be a theme, it could be something that is in your book that you can then say you could group books together and say these are books about, and throw yours in there. Um,
Right.
but that'll take me about 45 minutes of doing the pretty stuff. But as for like posting the things, I mean, you can do that in 2 minutes.
Do it whenever.
Yeah, like it's all just on my phone, like waiting to go. It's getting a bit harder now that Instagram and TikTok are very much about, oh, give us really detailed captions to help with SEO. So that's a
Mhm.
bit more demanding because then you've got to give it a full blown description. Um, so that's getting a bit harder. But as for like just planning what you're going to do and making it, I'd say about 30 to 45 minutes. But that could be spread over the whole day. So, that
Yeah.
could be 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the middle of the day, 15 minutes on your phone in the evening, just putting the final bits together. And some things you don't need to sit down with Canva for, some things you can just take a photograph of or do a video of, for example.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I need to, yeah,
Say
I'm
that.
gonna work out the time.
That'd be great. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see sort of uh, not only how much time that you spend doing those things, but whether or not you're seeing reactions, right? Because there's
Mm,
sort of an A to B data test where it's like
yeah.
input to output.
I'll copy and repeat things as well. So something that I posted 6 months ago, I might repost that because so many people haven't seen it before. You're not going to upset anyone just repeating something because you underestimate how many people don't pay attention.
Don't pay attention. Don't care. Didn't see it the first time anyway.
Yeah, or they might have only just started following you, or they might be a new subscriber, or they've never seen you before. So you just share something from 6 months ago. Even the people who've seen it before will have forgotten about it and they're being reminded. There's no harm in it. It's worked for me. I can post like on so say I've been on TikTok since October. Today I posted something again that I definitely posted back in like November or December, and it got more reactions than the first
Hmm.
time I posted it. Nobody knows you've done it before because nobody is going through your entire grid. And if they are,
For
block
sure.
them. That's weird. No one's going through your entire grid of what you've been doing in the last 3 months. No one. So don't be scared to repeat yourself.
Yeah, for
Mm.
sure.
I do it all the time as a mum anyway. Put that down. Put that down. Put that down. Repeat, please. Brush your teeth,
Right.
please. Yeah, I'm used to it. Repeat myself all the time.
So social media is like being a mom
Yeah, yeah. No one's paying
or a dad.
attention.
I feel like I do that to my kids all the time too.
Yeah, it's just like being a parent. You have to repeat yourself all the time, and they're not paying attention. And you might have told them about this cool thing, but they weren't listening, so you have to tell them again. Um, it's dedication. It only looks like stalking. Yeah, no, seriously, I have had notifications. Somebody's liked photographs from 2 years ago, and immediately I'm like, whoa, that's a swift block because that's, they've been scrolling through my grids with 2 years worth of stuff. I find that really
You do
creepy.
you do it on like the first time that you see a like, or do they have to go through a few more?
Oh, it's when I get a few notifications and then all of a sudden they're liking things from 2021. And I'm like, whoa, that's a bit weird.
Hmm.
Don't you think?
I, I don't know. I don't have a perspective on it.
Or maybe
I mean,
maybe it's because it like
if I saw somebody go through it sequentially or mostly sequentially start to like things, and I see them show up
hmm,
a lot, I'm like, oh, okay, then that's a little odd.
yeah. And also maybe it's because I'm a woman on the internet. I'm just like I panic every time I get a DM. I'm like, oh God, no. And then if it just says hi or hey, I'm like, whoa, block, block, block,
Gone,
block.
gone.
Yeah. Um, I've grown up as a woman on the internet, so if people are liking things from years ago and literally from today to 5 years ago, then for me that's creepy.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I got one the other day. Not creepy, but salesman. This woman reached out to me. I assume it's a woman. That's what her feed looks like. Wanted to do a paid collaboration. She's an influencer.
Oh yeah.
She has something in the neighborhood of an extended reach of 4 million users. I'm trying to remember what she pitched me. Uh, and she has, I don't know, 17 or 20,000 followers on Instagram. And so I don't know how she did the metrics between that and 4 million, but let's just pretend that it's true. And then I started looking at her posts and they have like no movement.
No.
And I'm like, and she literally sent me the grid of it's $25 for this and it's $50 for that. And she's like, which one would you like? And I'm like,
Mm.
no,
No, it's highly sus. And as well, what I'm always wary of is when it's a page or an influencer who only promotes your books to other people who have been featured or want to be featured.
right.
Like
Yeah.
they're not interested in your thing,
Yeah.
they're interested in when it's going to be their turn.
Yes.
Um, yeah, and
Well,
these people
I've
make
been
you
hit up
pay
by a
for that.
few of those where they're selling to other writers. And I'm like,
Mm,
that's not money well spent.
no, no, um, no. I mean, most of us are skint, so it's like, no, we need to break through that third wall and find normal people who have money to spend on
There's another
books.
room over there. We know it's there, and
Yeah,
they've got
just got to
money.
find the door. Yeah, yeah. But this is why, what I said before about being yourself and stuff really helps because people don't want to be sold to. They want to be able to kind of associate with you. And it could be anything. I mean, I'm going to go back to Buffy again because that's just my point of reference for everything. But I shared like a carousel or a video or something, and I was saying about when you have a thing for men who are at least 200 years older than you. And I
Right.
just showed like, I don't know, Spike and everyone, Angel and stuff. And then I was like, no, not those guys, these guys. And it was like H.G. Wells. And
Right.
you just gotta mess around and be a nerd, I think. Just be yourself. Because we're all nerds, all of us, in some way or another.
Some of us are bigger or different kinds of
Yeah.
nerds,
But we're all a bit nerdy, all of us.
for sure.
Um, yeah.
That was my pitch to you is that I'm a nerd and I'm going to figure this publishing thing out.
Yeah. Well, you do. You just get into it, and you're like, right, I'm now an expert on this subject. Yeah. Oh,
An
that's
ever-growing expert. It's sort of like tribbles. It's gonna
yeah.
multiply at some point.
You're doing continuous professional development.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm so passionate about this that I have convinced my wife, at least at some level, that she's starting to look for real estate in the area where we can open up an actual bookstore.
Cool. And also, you live in the right country for that. I mean, God, there's so much red tape if you want to do that here.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, God, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
It would
You're
be
so
fun.
into it, Jay. Yeah,
I'm in. I'm in.
yeah, yeah. You've convinced your wife. Yeah, but
It's
that's
subliminal.
that's
I
what
talk to her at night.
yeah, that's what you need though.
I whisper in her ear that we're gonna, and
And she
all of
wakes
a
up and
sudden
says, "I've got a great idea."
she was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing." Oh, my headphones are gonna die.
Oh no. But that is the thing that I wanted to say about writing is, when you ask like, how are you so prolific? Like I would not be, and I would not be able to be if I didn't have a husband who was like 100% into it. I think if your partner's not into it, it can be really hard. Um, I saw that on, I think it was Threads. Someone said, behind every successful woman that I've ever seen, she's either got a husband who is obsessed with her or no husband. There's no in between. And I think that works the same way for, every couple. If you don't have a partner who is 100% behind you, it's really hard.
For sure.
Um, mm, they might resent that writing time that you take, or but I wouldn't be able to do it like if my husband wasn't fully behind the dream.
Yeah. I have a question for you. Or maybe there wasn't, but when was there a point where he saw it not as a hobby and as a vocation?
When he read me first like pieces, he was like, "Oh, this is this is quite good."
Yeah.
Um, he was happy for me to just be doing something for me.
Mhm.
Because I started writing when I was experiencing burnout from my craft business, and like he'd watched me absolutely throw myself at it for years, and the income was just getting lower and lower as time went on, and it was getting harder to sell. I mean, I lost loads of overseas sales because of all the postal changes and Brexit and
Mhm.
so on. And it was just getting harder. It was like, wow, you have to work twice as hard for less money now. Um, and it just gave me a deep sense of shame and failure. It was like, I'm such a failure, look what I've done to my family, and for me, writing was just a way of me doing something that was for me that made me happy.
Yeah.
And it was something else that I could focus on that wasn't to do with work, ironically. And then all of a sudden, it was
We
like,
turn our hobbies into work, don't we?
it was completely accidental. I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna share this for free on Substack just as a serial. And
Mhm.
if people want to read it, they will. And it was just kind of like if anyone thinks it's any good, if anyone's interested, they might come along. Um, and they did. But no, it was when my husband, when I asked him to read some of my work, and he was just like, "Oh," and then that was it. It just became what I did. And it just spiraled. It was like I started writing the serial, and then I was getting subscribers, and then I was getting paid subscribers, and I was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
Like I'm a paid writer now. Like I'm earning money from this.
Like it's
And
a
then
real
it just,
thing.
yeah. And it was just kind of like, oh, maybe this is what I'm supposed to be doing with myself because it made me happy. Like
Mm.
not once have I ever stopped and focused on how much money I don't have. Like, yes, I don't have the money I need to have to get on with things, but I don't let it hold me back. It doesn't make writing any less joyful, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, like I still enjoy it. Like, um, yeah, no matter what. which is a strange thing because with my craft business, once I stopped enjoying it, I just couldn't do it anymore, you know. But this is it's just worth it. Like even if you don't earn anything, it's like it still does something for you, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. It's all I want to do. Yeah. Even if I get tired, I've never been fed up with it, you know?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I see all those hearts coming through. I love that.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
I
yeah.
I think that your writing is spectacular. I think that one of the things that I really noticed reading in Spider is how sort of at the ground floor you started us, and it's like this sort of slow burn build that takes its time to get there, and I think that that feels like a writing style that is missed. And obviously, every book's different, and every book has to start where it needs to start. And there's sort of a different way of doing it for every writer. But it sort of brought me back to um, when I remember reading as a kid, like Stephen King books, where there's like it didn't immediately start you in at the deep end. It's sort of like the frog in the pot. We're going to slowly turn the heat up over time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I just that's like my favorite thing. I love just being lured in, and it was when I read Haunting of Hill House. I was like, God, this is so creepy and unsettling, but nothing's happened.
Nothing's
You
happened.
know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I'm so like my hackles are up, but nothing's happened. I love that about it. Same for like The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins. You just all the way through, you're like, I've got a bad feeling about this, but
Mhm.
nothing's happened. You know, it's just the atmosphere, and also we have to thank my husband for the way the spider is like that because I already said about Oceanus, you know, just like some of the descriptions were a bit like, oh no, Hannah, please don't do that. That's really, you know, amateur. Um, but in the spider, I was actually going to have the scene with the blackbird on the window.
Uh-huh.
Like that was a lot earlier, and
Oh,
Chris was
interesting.
no, 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 don't put that in there. Like that's way too much too soon.
Oh,
So
interesting.
good to have a wingman who's like, oh, you might want to hold off on that. And then, you know, I just waited till later, and I think it works much better that way. And I don't know. I don't know if it's because of like the age we live in now or what. You just feel like, oh, are people going to get impatient with it?
Yeah.
Um, you know, because it's
Well, I
not a
think we're so used to the sort of in media res, right, where you're just dropped right in, or there's
yeah,
the splash opening, and then we've got to take a break.
yeah. I see so many like writing advice start in the middle of the action
Mhm.
or just as something as climaxed, and it's like, well, what if I don't want to? What if I want to just start where the story starts? You know.
Yeah.
And also I did something massively unconventional by not introducing the detective until like 14
Halfway through.
chapters in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing? Yeah, halfway through. I did not introduce Muldoon till halfway through because I just thought, no, we need to be in the house first.
Yeah.
We need to know what he doesn't know. Um,
Well, you sort of have to see things degrade slowly, right?
yeah,
And what happens to these characters, Francis and Beatrice, and like uh and how that that universe that they live in affects them.
yeah, yeah. Like the whole circumstances of the family. Like I didn't want it to be like, you know, crime dramas are really popular here and mysteries and stuff and you'll watch them and you'll find out all you need to know about the characters, but only when one of the people who knew the victim is talking, you know,
Mm.
oh, she always did like picking daffodils. You know what I mean? Um, like I didn't want to do that. I was like, no, no, no. I want the reader to get to know all the characters and the victims before it all kicks off.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and I think as well, Mike Flanagan did that for me. So,
Mhm.
you know Mike Flanagan who recently did all the Fall of the House of Usher, Haunting of Hill House. You know, he
Mhm.
made all those miniseries. Spider now. Oh, thank you, Murphy. I haven't got my glasses on. Right. Yeah. renaissance of slow reads? I bloody hope so because I can't cope with this high speed style that everybody's doing now. They're like, you got to grip them from the first line. It's like, no, it's a bloody story. Sit down and listen. You know,
That's a really hard thing when attention spans are so short. There's 5,000 channels.
yeah.
I was thinking about when we were traveling during the holidays in one of the hotels, my kids had the TV on and they were like, a commercial came on. And they were like, "What is
What
this?"
is this? Yeah,
And
this is yeah.
we're like, the hotel TV sucks. It's not like our one at home where you can like
Instant.
just move to whatever
Yeah,
you want.
yeah. Like you, that's when you plan your time. You're like, right, okay, that's a toilet break. That's a snack break.
Right.
That's a chance to just have a quick chat about whatever you've just seen. A
Right.
different world now. But I have heard some reassuring claims that Gen Z, bless them, who have just grown up with tech like since birth. You know, they've had tech since birth. They've had smartphones since they were young, and they are rediscovering peace. You know, they are rediscovering silent, calm, relaxing things that they can do unplugged. Um, and I really believe that. I don't think that's just wishful thinking. I really believe that. Like Ian Barr has just said about people are wanting to slow down. Um, because we just can't keep going at 100 miles an hour. It's like everything is quick, quick, quick. All the
Yeah.
adverts you see about meal prep, it's all, oh, it's already in a bag, just have it. Gusto and Hello Fresh, it's all together. You don't have to do anything, just bang, 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 it's all done.
Yeah.
And that's how we're all living life at the moment. It's all just bang, 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 bang. So I do believe when I've read about Gen Z, are like, oh, hang on a minute. It's quite cool when you just unplug and do
Yeah.
something else.
Kind of
Play
nice.
Warhammer. Yeah, play Warhammer. Picture.
Unplugged,
Um,
but play. Well, I was
yeah,
thinking of like the string of commercials. I mean, Adam, you may not remember this, but the this one of the central premises for the original BBC series or show of Max Headroom was that this television company was testing out a new advertising platform where they were speeding up commercials to the point
oh,
where it was overstimulating people and making them explode.
yeah. But now
So
we have that all the
we're kind of
time.
there now, aren't we? But maybe we
Yeah.
are. Maybe people's synapses actually are burning out.
Well, I think, when I said it before about TikTok, like I'm just like, why bother doing a video when people are happy with these slides? Maybe it's because it stops them. Maybe it's
Yeah,
because it's not more stimulation. It's just they have to stop and look at it. Maybe that's why it's effective.
yeah,
Maybe deep down they want to stop. Um,
yeah.
yeah, maybe it's just habit. When they see a video, they just scroll and keep scrolling and keep scrolling. But when they see a picture, they stop and look at it or the caption
Happens.
or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
I've
don't
seen
know.
people try to do things with the text that gets smaller, so it sort of you have to drag your eyes like and
Yeah,
stop. And
yeah,
I guess that works to a certain point until you've just annoyed somebody. You can
yeah.
only like sort of
That's
do
the
that.
reason. Yeah. No, it's all fake that, and I don't want people to stop and engage with me stuff just because I've manipulated them into noticing. Um, there's a line,
Well, but
and
I guess I mean it's all a manipulation at least at some level.
yeah, but there's more. Some manipulation is just like I don't want to annoy people.
Fair
Basically,
enough.
I don't. The most rewarded content on the internet is the stuff that enrages people or makes them want to engage because they've got a point to prove.
Hmm.
Um, don't want to do that. I
Which
don't
is
want to start.
sad.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
sorry.
was just checking the comments. Like Murphy's gone.
See you, Murph.
Yeah, Murph's gone to bed.
Okay. I have, I think, uh, 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 going through my list of questions. I don't have any more.
Okay.
So we could talk about, because we're 2 hour mark.
Right.
Um, What questions do you have? What can I answer for you?
Oh, Jesus. No, I suppose what a lot of people want to know is when's Midnight Vault 2 coming?
That's a really good question. So we took a little pause. There, it's an odd question to answer because we took a little pause. Shane has had a death in the family, and so he's sort of my partner in doing this, and I'm gonna wait it out until he comes back. Uh, and if he
And we
comes
all love
back,
Shane.
we love
Yeah,
Shane.
we love
And
Shane.
I feel so I kind of don't want to continue until I know where he's at.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's sort of where I'm at. But after we find out the answer to that, truly like I have my list of like I think these are the possibilities of stories that we want. I know Brian Paroli's got his already, and we're gonna triangulate on mine, Shane, and Brian's, and argue it out probably for a couple of days, and then we'll start contacting people based on that, and we'll say
Mm,
these are the running, and we've also made notes along the way about like we think this is the this is the right way to do it. Maybe it needs another edit. Maybe it needs a little lift in this area or that area as a way because this is not something that we did in the previous ones. We're actually taking a little bit more of an editorial hand on some of the stories and trying to figure out like this was 99% right, but how do we give it a little
mm,
bit more lift? Um, and then we also have some awards that our editors are going to give away of things that they really liked out of the stories. Yeah, everything's sort of in a just a pause at the moment, but we do have plans
yeah,
for how it can continue.
yeah. And you were gonna do a hardback Tiny Worlds.
We're going to do a
Book.
hardback of the Midnight Vault. Yeah, the
Okay.
Midnight Vault 2. And I we might do a we might do a reissue of Midnight Vault 1 in a hardback
Hmm. Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
as a match set.
Nice. Okay.
So that might be in the offing.
Yeah. Okay. And I wondered, does anyone else here who's joining us or who's been with us for a while, do you have any questions about anything? Tiny Worlds, the books, what Jay's up
The weather
to?
outside, anything.
Well, I figured they'd all be sensible in our, uh,
Mm.
but you never know.
Well, here in the US, we're starting to encroach on Super Bowl time. So like the pregame is
Yes.
going on right now.
Right. Means nothing to me, but
I
okay.
know. I know. Are you a
Yeah.
football fan? Not I don't mean American football. Do you
You mean
watch
soccer?
soccer? Well, I was going to say football. Well, my
Yeah, we
our
call it
babysitter
football.
our babysitter is Brazilian and she refuses to call it soccer too. So I get it.
Yeah. Is it only you who calls it soccer in the
I think only
US?
yeah, only in the US.
Think everyone else, I think, well, yeah, I think everyone else calls it football. And then here, if we have American football, it's just called American football. Um, but yeah,
Oh,
Canada
I guess
does too.
Canada. Yeah.
What, like soccer? Oh, Canadians are full of surprises. Oh, but no, yeah, football. I used to. I was really into it. And then I just kind of I tune in for like the World Cup or the Euro because that's loads of
Yeah,
fun.
for sure.
But as for like just Premier League, it's no, it's too much to keep up with.
Yeah.
Like, I get 2 days a week. Like the weekend is I mean, that's what, like 48 hours, and there's just not enough time to keep up with all these things, you know?
Hey,
Um,
Erica, my wife is Canadian too. So there you go.
yeah. Canadians full of surprises. Yeah. So no, just about
Okay. Well,
spelling. Yeah. And now soccer. Yeah.
there's
No
I
judgment. It's a surprise.
no, of course, no judgment. I think the biggest surprise for me was how many people in the U.S. got into World Cup over the last I don't know, 15 years, 20 years. Like I don't
Right.
remember it. I don't remember it ever as a kid. And then all of a sudden in my adulthood, it was, hey, the bar down the road is has World Cup on, and so we're all going to go watch.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't happen with Premier League stuff, and it doesn't happen with some of the smaller matches typically, because a lot of them were late at night or early in the morning. But World Cup was always on, sort of
Oh, okay.
in my 30s and 40s.
Yeah. No. Well, and obviously you're going to be having the World Cup this year in
Yeah,
LA.
LA, right? Yeah,
Yeah. Um. Don't know who's going, but you're gonna have one.
I don't know.
Yeah. No one with a social media account.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, because getting into the country might be a little difficult at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But you
So
know,
yeah, we'll see how that goes.
my in-laws, who live in Victoria, British Columbia, uh, won't come to the U.S. right now.
No.
They're just like, nope, not gonna do it.
No. I wanna go and see family, but I'm not doing it. Like I've got family in Albuquerque and I got family in Vermont. And I'm
Nope.
like, oh, wouldn't it be lovely? But I no, not right now. Not right now. It'd be lovely. Like I'd love to come over and like sign books. But
Yeah.
yeah, can't do that right now. Um,
Yeah. If you went to Albuquerque, you would be a stone's throw from Winston's store.
Yeah, well, I actually they like Albuquerque family did email saying, "Where do we get your books again?" And this example of where you can talk about what you do, but will it go in? Don't know.
Yeah.
So I did say, actually, I know a guy, and I know
Oh.
someone, a guy who might be happy to find those books for you. So I think they're going to go and pay him a visit.
Oh, good. Is it Albuquerque that he's in? I can't remember.
No, he's in. Oh, it sounds really pretty. No, Enchanted Books. It's not far from Albuquerque.
Okay.
New,
Yeah.
so, Rio Rancho, Rio Rancho
Mhm.
in Mexico, I think. But yeah, I said I was
Uh,
able to. I know a guy, and I know a guy who stocks my books
yeah.
in Albuquerque. Ah, how cool is that?
That's awesome. Uh, Rio Rancho. Yeah, you're right. I just don't know
Yeah,
where Rio Rancho is in relation to other things. But yeah.
somewhere. Well, you don't. I bloody don't. Yeah. Like I'd know. I was just round the corner from yeah. No, I don't know. But yeah, I was able to say, well, actually, I know a guy. Um and he'd be happy to help you out with all your book needs. Yeah. And then obviously encourage family members to all buy the Midnight Vault as well. And then discover more writers.
Oh, they're right next to each other. Rio Rancho and
Yeah.
Albuquerque. It's the same metro.
Yeah. So that's what I said. I was like, what a small world, you know.
Yeah, crazy. He
Like,
opened it up
yeah,
in their neighborhood just so they could go shop there.
yeah. It's like, yeah, just so they could find my books in the shop round the corner. That is insane.
That's
Um,
great.
yeah, that is insane. The places you get with a book. Um, yeah, I haven't even been to Albuquerque, but my books have. So bizarre.
I like to think that I want my books and yours to go places that I will never visit.
Yeah,
Not that I wouldn't
yeah,
want to, but like somewhere that I would have never been.
yeah,
Do you
yeah.
ever when you I don't know if you do this at all, but when you travel, even if it's domestically or you go stay at a vacation rental somewhere, do you take a book and leave it there?
I don't have the guts to do that.
Why?
Don't know. Just
Or
no,
like the
we
coffee shop that has the free book area,
I
you
don't
don't
have
leave
the
a book
guts.
there?
No, no. No, there's a little free library down the road, just down the road, and I could walk in there and go, I've got some books to donate, but I think I'm just terrified of someone bumping into me.
Why?
You know, I
I'm
don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Weird.
Interesting. So because you're so outgoing on social media that like this is me, this is what I do, but it's a different thing when like you go out the front door and down the walk.
Yeah. I like my kind of anonymous life.
Okay.
Like all the other parents on the yard, like they don't know who I am. They don't give a shit. You know, like I like that.
Uh-huh.
And well, that way I can just, go out with no makeup on or in gym leggings and no one's like, oh, look who that is. No one cares. I'm just trying to prepare for, when I'm like really famous. Like I can go out
But
in
you
public and no one will know it's me.
but
That's what I'm,
is your picture somewhere in your book?
yeah, it
Oh,
is.
yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say because there's a point by which you could say it's the other Hannah Delaney. We get confused all the time.
Yeah, that's not me. That's not me. But also in my real life, I am known by my married name, whereas this is my maiden name. So
Oh, right.
I've got like two lives, Jay.
I
Um,
know. When I get emails from you, I'm like, I don't know who this person is. Who is this?
yeah, no, I live a secret life. Yeah, no paparazzi. That's it. I'm just like, no, because one day, what if I was, you know, doing all right for myself, and I wouldn't want
Uh-huh.
people to like, following me around. Um, which I'm sure no one would, but I don't know. Yeah. But this when I'm online, like I'm at work. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
in life, I just like being nobody.
But you don't want to like leave a copy like on a bus or like somewhere where it can be found.
I'd worry
I
about
think
what
that
would happen to it.
what like somebody would just put it in the
Like
bin.
you understand where I live, Jay. Like
Oh,
you don't do things like that around here.
you don't people don't
Yeah.
just leave a book on accident?
No, no. Uh, I mean
What
the fact
what would
that
happen to it?
God knows, I'd see it in a puddle the next day. I'd be really sad. You know, see seagulls ripping it up for nesting. Like
I I
yeah.
challenge you, and I think you should make this like something that you can post on social media. I challenge you to get over that fear of leaving a book in a place that somebody might actually pick it up and read it.
All right. Yeah, I could just be like, I'm in town today, and you might find one of my books.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Maybe I will.
Like like right at the fountain in the middle of Liverpool,
Yeah, I could.
or
Um.
slip it into someone's bag. That's right, Ian. That's right. That's what
Well,
everybody should be doing.
I realize.
It's like it's like reverse shoplifting. You gotta put it somewhere.
Excuse me, you forgot this.
Reverse pickpocketing.
Yeah. No, I mean I could. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. I've just got a weird hang up about it because like when me father-in-law told me because they run a little cafe in their church and he said he was like, oh, we've got a few copies just on the table in the cafe, and I was like, you know what.
Oh,
um but most of the point, like, they haven't read it, so I'm like, ooh, what if it's got bits in it that I don't want these people to know, you know so yeah, I know. I'm really weird about it. But yeah, when he said, "Oh, they're just on the table," I was like, "Oh, people are gonna look at them." How will I ever live?
but they're in your local library.
They're in the library. Well, one of them is, so the spider's in the library, and you know, yeah,
Oh, I
still here.
lost you. Oh,
Yeah,
there you
no,
are.
it warns me about screen time because I have a screen time curfew.
Oh, ho,
Um,
ho. We've hit
because I
the
won't
end of your
stop.
doom scrolling limit, huh?
Yeah, because I won't stop. Like I could just be like, oh, I'm gonna do loads of work all the time. So I have to have a curfew. So I've got like eight
Good for you.
minutes. But yeah, it's in the library, and I walked in there, and do you know what I did? I looked at it, I picked it up, I looked at it, and I put it back down quickly because there were
Uh-huh.
people coming, there were people around, and I thought I don't want them to know that I wrote this. It's a weird thing. I don't understand. You know, I'm just like, I don't want them to know that I don't want,
Do you,
like, if they're going to just go to the back of the book and look up
uh
the picture and go,
Wait a minute,
that's
that's
it.
you?
Yeah. Um,
Do you
it's so
is
weird.
it in the UK? Did they put a little card in there that says when it was checked out last or anything like that?
It's all online, really, but I think
Yeah.
that there is a little thing with a stamp at the front. So sometimes when the machines
Okay.
aren't working, which happens a lot, they just stamp it.
Mhm.
So it has been out. It's been out for a spin. I may or may not check the online catalog every now and then to see
Yeah.
how it's doing.
Great. It's
Um,
great.
yeah.
I do.
So
By the way, I have taken my books and the Midnight Vault have all made appearances in our local library, and I check whenever like if I see it on the shelf. Like they had a little like local authors area when you walked in the door at the library. I would go and just pull it off and look at it and to see like how often it had been checked out. And the Midnight Vault
yeah,
actually had gone out a number of times.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ian says, do they have local author stickers? They don't. So they took it on. They bought a copy because it was about Liverpool and it was by a local author. Um, but they don't have a local author section. It's literally just there next to like Grady Hendrix and
Great.
Guillermo del Toro and so on. Um, yeah, local author stickers. I mean, it would be cool, wouldn't it? Like,
Yeah.
but then they'd want to meet me. Like,
Oh my God. Oh my God.
well, I had this thing. I was thinking about you can book the library to do like meet and greets and
Readings?
signings and
Yeah.
things. Just thought I
Yeah.
don't guts. I don't have the guts.
Okay.
Um, but I should. It might help. It might help. And
All right. Well, I will we're in February now. March 28th, I have an author event here at the town near me, which is Mount Shasta. Everybody's welcome to come join. It's free. You can come hang out with me while Hannah figures out whether or not she's going to do live events of any kind.
I know I should. I know. I taught myself out to 'cause I'm like, oh, who'd mind the kids and how long am I going to be out and But yeah, I need to grow a pair.
Yeah. Well, you can start by leaving a book behind. That's your challenge for the week.
All right. Oh God. Right. Okay.
And you, like
Ah,
this is the social media stuff that you can just just have.
yeah. Then they'll discover me. Ah. Um.
Oh God.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I have to say goodbye. My wife is telling me that she's leaving and bringing the kids back home, which means
Yeah.
they're going to end
And
days.
I'm running out of screen time. I'm not allowed any more screen time now.
You have one more minute.
So one more minute. Yeah. So no, thank you for having me. Thank you for everyone turning up. I
Thank
hope
you all.
it was fun. Um. Yeah. No, I had a great time.
Good. Me too. It was lovely to talk to you again.
Yes. And I will chat to you soon and see you all around.
Okay.
Um.
Bye,
Yeah.
everybody.
Bye. Bye bye, gang.